What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Ghouls Gaming and Tech channel. We are playing another game in our series to see how well some of these older games hold up in 2025, and more importantly, with the enhancements of the PS5 Pro, does it give these games any kind of edge utilizing the advanced ray tracing, the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, so on and so forth. So this game is no different. This is Uncharted, A Thief's End. This game originally came out in 2016 on the PS4. Now we're playing it on the PS5 Pro in 2025. So it's been almost 10 years since this game came out. Now, before we even get started, I think personally that this game is going to hold up, but that's just me. But these are going to be your best visual and gameplay settings to get the most out of this gameplay and this experience on the PS5 Pro. Now, as you know, some games were enhanced for the PS5 Pro, some were not. Now, this one in particular was not necessarily enhanced, but we're trying to see if any of the enhancements of the PS5 Pro just on the console alone benefit this game at all. So we're going to hop into the settings, and then we're going to hop into a little bit of gameplay so you can see how those settings actually play out when you're actually playing this game. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you're new or returning, make sure to hit that like button. It's definitely appreciated. It's the best way that I and YouTube knows you guys enjoy this kind of content. So let's go down to the options right here. Now, game. So, game, challenge, level, difficulty, whatever you want to call it. Just put it on moderate for this example. Subtitles, I usually don't like to play with subtitles on because it takes the immersion out of the game. So I turn that off. Game hits, you can leave that on until you get used to it. Then you can turn it off. Same thing with tutorials. NPC marking, I left that on. Again, this is until you get comfortable, then you can turn that off. My main mission is to be more immersed in these games that I play, so most of that kind of stuff I usually turn off after I get the hang of the game. So that's it with gameplay. Then let's go back. Camera controls, so I did change the sensitivity. It comes on default 5, but I changed the sensitivity of the aiming and the camera control up to 6 just to make it a smidget more sensitive, but everything else I left on default. Camera assist, vehicle camera assist, all that left on default. So then you go to controls. You can change this to your liking. I'm really not gonna change this stuff too much because how it comes is fine for me. But if you like a particular button response to however you normally play, then feel free to change those. But this is completely up to you guys, so I'm not gonna mess with this too much. And then this is just viewing the controls right here, showing you how everything works. And then display. So this is your bread and butter. So when you originally turn the game on, HDR is not enabled. I do not know why. But you want to turn this on so you can get the best image quality. And then a smidget, help with the performance as far as it corresponding with the visual quality. You can rescale your HUD too. Mine is perfect, so I'm not going to rescale it. And then motion blur sensitivity and brightness. So brightness default comes on 5. I just took it down 1 notch just because I find out with darker tones and darker colors, it looks better when it's not as bright. And if a game came out so long ago, most people don't know this, but if you change the brightness down just a little bit, it kind of makes your colors pop out a little bit more, makes the image overall look a little bit more rich. So I just knocked that down to 4. And then motion blur intensity or sensitivity, I guess. It's default on 10. We're going to take it down 1 notch to about 9 or 8. Either one of those is fine, but I don't want it to be too strong because then it's going to seem like a whirlwind of motion. So about 9 or 8 is fine. Plus, the lower you put this, the more details you see as you're moving. But you don't want too much detail because you want it to feel like you're actually moving, and you like those motion and velocity effects when you're moving. So that's why I recommend putting it down just a smidget. All right, and then audio, volumes, everything should be on 20. I think default, the music came on like 18. Don't know why, but put that up to 20. And then output, right now I have some headphones on, so it automatically switched to headphones, but whatever you guys are using, sound bar, whatever the case is, all this stuff is pretty fine. Dynamic range, you want that on wide. Controller, audio. This is up to you. You can turn this on, you can turn it off. Auto disabled. So basically, your controller pushing out some audio of your game. So it doesn't matter to me either way, but it's fine for me. And then that is it for the audio output. And then language, leave that as default. And then accessibility stuff. This is pretty standard. Lock on, aim. You know, most of the stuff we saw in other menus already. Subtitles off. Repeat button press, tapping. All this is normal. So, usually in Pro Enhanced games, there's a toggle that you can change your graphic mode into. So you can put it on like Performance Pro or Quality Pro or Fidelity Pro. Obviously, this game is not enhanced per se for the PS5 Pro, so you're not going to have those options. So there's nothing for us to toggle there. But let's just see if this game benefits from being played on the PS5 Pro almost 11 years, or I guess it's been 9 years, but almost 10 years later. So let's go and start this game up just so you guys can see what we're all getting into. Bonuses. Do we have any bonuses? I don't think so. But we're just going to do a little bit of gameplay so you guys can see how it works out. I guess we already started. So the grave of Henry Avery. Let's go. Looks like the load time is not benefiting from a faster console, but you know, it's not too bad. I've seen worse.
Scottish Cathedral. Strange place.
All right, so now we are out in the world.
I mean, by the time Avery would have sailed here.
Let's see. Do they give us any other additional options after we get into the game? Because some games do that, and I don't know why. Motion blur. Okay, so it looks like all this stuff is default. So let's switch it to HDR off really quick just to see how it looks.
The place was already abandoned.
The colors are a little bit darker, but you can definitely tell some lighting elements kind of went away. So we're going to turn that back on. Just wanted you guys to see what that looked like really quick. So turn that back on. All right. So now it's back on. It's brightening up the image a little bit. But overall, so far right now, the image quality, yeah, you can definitely tell this was made almost 10 years ago. There's limited to no ray tracing that I see going on with this game.
What happened between you and Rafe?
Now, granted,
I couldn't deal with him.
Snow,
Pretty sure he'd had enough of me.
I forget,
I'm still coming to
they
grips
have a
with
lot of
him.
dialogue in this
Death,
game.
and with his frustration from not finding the treasure.
But anyways,
I'm pretty sure he was ready to kill me
snow,
by the time
rocks, bushes, grass. Most of that stuff doesn't have much reflection, but the rock would be the main thing that has the reflections on it.
So than when we teamed up with him.
Dude, can y'all stop talking?
And I've heard stories.
You talk so much.
Me too. All the more reason I don't feel bad.
That's the little ship that kind of fell. I mean, the water is far away, but overall, the water kind of looks like a static image. It doesn't look like it's in motion at all. Like, even where it's kind of simulating waves, they're not moving, they're not dissipating. So the plane's like jumping in the water right there. But yeah, there's no motion in the water at all, and little to no reflection in the water. This rock kind of has some kind of reflection, like it could have some element of ray tracing, but it's probably minimal to none, actually. The snow, you don't have any kind of glimmer like the snowflakes in it. I guess you got tiny ones, but you can barely notice it. But there's not much reflection and good light balancing on the snow. You do have a supposed natural light source as the sun here, so it's doing well to like light up the image. But just even with the character model, the quality and details of his character model, usually they make the main character have the best detail, but his jacket, there's little to no detail in it, like no definition, no texture. Like it kind of looks like a flat image with like a drawing of like the pocket and stuff on it. It doesn't have any like depth to it, as if that makes any sense. It's like a 2D image printed on another 2D, maybe 3D type of image right there. And then even with the hair and face details, again, minimal. Again, you got to get this game some kind of grace because it did come out almost 10 years ago. But right here with the snow, I guess this is good right here that the snow is kind of getting on his shoes, getting on his boots, which is pretty cool. And actually, when he walks, the snow on the ground responds. So that is more than I can say for some other games that were made a long time ago. Some games don't even respond. Like I just did a video on the Division 2, and the water that was on the ground did not respond to the feet at all. But the snow is responding to the feet. Now, this game doesn't look like it is... it could be in 60 frames. It could be. There's a little bit of static. It might not be 60, but it's definitely not 30. It's maybe like 40, 45. Maybe it's like a variable
Just like you remember it?
FPS.
Grounds? Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, you got a little bit more reflection in this snow right here, like glimmering. The shadows are pretty respondent to my body, which is pretty good.
Stealing the cross might have made our boy Rafe a little
And then his character model, basically the same as mine. All right. Oh, a shot. How do you reload? Okay, triangle.
Man, it must have been a shock for Avery to come
Okay,
here
okay.
in the tropics for so
It's not too bad.
Well, I can sympathize with that. Right, because of the old prison thing.
You got some particle effects.
No idea how much I missed.
Those little things kind of floating in the wind. We are in the woods, so that is good. It has these particle effects. Some games don't have that at all.
Someone's a little explosion happy.
Something's blowing up over there.
No, someone's a little desperate.
Now, the foreground and background is, as I expected, it's obviously less detailed as far as you go out. The closer you get, it's a little bit more detailed, but as you can see these leaves and this tall grass in my vision, this field of view, it's not detailed at all. These are super flat and obvious 2D images that are clumped together, and they have on some kind of motion sensor system. Yeah, motion system to kind of give the appearance of movement, but it's just a ton of 2D images just layered on top of each other. Kind of like a little visual effect, but not really simulating grass. All right, I'm following this guy. We're going to wrap it up here soon. The trees. I did holster. Yeah, this is definitely not in 60 frames. It's in something else. Haha. I think we're gonna slide down right here. Oh yeah, he might get hurt. He's done for. Yeah, I knew it. Kind of figured as much. But yeah, so those are gonna be your best settings to get the most out of this game. Obviously, you're pretty much limited because how old the game is, but it is what it is. Just so if you're thinking about playing this game in 2025, now you can see kind of what it looks like. Definitely if you have the PS5 Pro. So scale of 1 to 10 is probably like a 5. It's average at best. Nothing higher than that. But the PS5 Pro doesn't do much to help this game out. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.